Alright everybody, I'm back. Let's do the final bit of the teardown on this thing. We're going to take the oil pump out real quick. Let me find my pick. Alright. There is the oil pump in all its nasty glory. There we go. There's the rubber seal right there. Right, let's take the chain tensioner out just because I am going to be washing this thing so thoroughly, so might as well. The rest of the saw is neat and clean, but might as well get some too. I'm kind of sad right now. While I was waiting on something, I was working a little bit on the porting for the clone 460, the monster, and I chipped the chrome. So now that whole cylinder I've been working on for a while now is trash. Those are the crankcase bolts we're taking out. Let's go ahead and split the crankcase. There it went. Right here, that's bad right there. Let's take a look at the new one. I haven't pulled it out yet. I'll have to take that out of the package later, but other than that, I think I'm going to call it there. I'm going to go wash this off. Check back with you later. Alright everybody, I'm back. I got these pretty well clean. There's a little bit more I need to pick off with a screwdriver. Or I might even end up taking it to the car wash or something. Just blowing it off real quick. But something I want to show you. See how nice this is right here? No flaky paint. I don't really even need to worry about this. I might take a little emery to that real quick. But overall, that's good. All right, this is the one I wanted to show you right here. You might notice some scratches in there, right? Notice some flaking paint right up here. Part of what's causing this is, from what I think, looking at it, this looks like a scratch right here in the bottom. You see that scratch right in the bottom? That is where I think the crank was actually smacking the bottom of the crankcase. You can kind of see what's happening here. That thing is bad. So I think that was smacking the bottom of the crankcase, causing the damage to the paint, which then, I don't know how long this thing sat before I got it. We didn't really go into how long the crank had been bad or when it had failed. All right, well, I got this side cleaned out with a combination of a wire brush on a drill, and my Dremel battery died, so I wound up using that. This side, like I said, is good. I'm gonna hit that with some emery before I press it together. But let's start knocking some bearings out real quick. But that came out perfectly clean. I don't mean clean like it didn't leave any dirt that I didn't get off of there, but no damage to the bearing pockets. It's got a race in it. I'm not a big fan of that, but I don't design chainsaws for a living. Alright, so those are all the bearings right there. Alright. Be right back. Alright. I've got my bearings ready. Let's start pressing them together. These are factory steel bearings. This is the flywheel side. Part number 950300. I'm sorry. 9503-003-0346. This one right here. (9523-003-4266). We're going to press the clutch side one first. Sorry I didn't catch that on a video. I wound up fighting with this thing so much it wasn't even funny. I normally don't have stress out of these, but I wound up having to pull this one from the outside to the inside. Got that wiped down, so now let's do the flywheel side, and hopefully this one will go easier. The last 3 or 4 that I've done on the clutch side, or clutch sides of saws, have all gone really smooth. That's the first one in a while that's just been that big a pain. Alright, I always like to, the race, I like to flip it to the outside so that the bearings are always exposed to the fuel and oil mix. Right there it is. Alright, so there's both of my crank bearings all done. Alright, let's get this crank pulled in real quick, and tomorrow I'll do some seals and I'll hone the cylinder. Brand new West crank that's not right there it is. Alright, I got the Durco on there. Let's take and drop this gasket on here. Okay. we go. I'm still going to do this one the way I normally do. That there, that there. Just line up the dowel pins, the alignment pins, and you're good after that. All right, right there she stopped. All right, so that right there, in I think 2 videos, I will have this pretty well done. At least the crankcase. There we go. Okay. Okay, so that right there, if I kept my head out of it, should have centered up that crank perfectly right there. So now I shouldn't have any side load on it now. Oh yeah, that's perfect right there, see? All right, I'm gonna call it there for today. Tomorrow I'll try to do some seals for you, hone out a cylinder, and then put a brand new OEM piston in this, and we're gonna have us a brand new STIHL MS460. All right, we'll talk to you later. Take it easy. Bye.